children. I welcome you all to your English class. How are you all today? I hope you all are doing good. For today's English lesson, we are going to start the second chapter from your English supplementary reader, An Alien Hand, and the story is called Bringing Up Curry. Bringing Up Curry is written by Dhan Gopal Mukherjee. Okay? So in this story, you will meet a cute baby elephant and you will learn about his bond with his keeper. Okay? So let us start reading. The chapter is on page number 7 of your book. Okay? Let's start. Curry, a 5-month-old baby elephant, lives and grows up with his 9-year-old friend and keeper. Curry doesn't eat much, just about 16 kilograms of delicious twigs a day. Playful and sensitive, Curry saves a boy from drowning. So now we will meet Curry, and he comes in the service, or he comes as a baby, 5-month-old baby in a house, and he becomes a friend to his keeper, who is 9 years old when Curry's come into his life. Curry doesn't eat much. This is not much, okay? Only 16 kilograms of delicious twigs, okay, per day. So this is not like per month or per year, per day. So this was his appetite. He was not very much hungry. Playful and sensitive. So Curry understood the needs of others. He was very sensitive and he was very playful. He used to play a lot with his keeper, and one day he saves a boy from drowning in the water. Now let's start the story. Curry the elephant was 5 months old when he was given to me to take care of. So the elephant Curry was only 5 months old when he was given to the author, okay, when he was given to the boy who was 9 years old. I was 9 years old and I could reach his back if I stood on tiptoe. What is tiptoeing? When you stand on the balls of your feet and you raise your heels. That means you raise yourself like this. You stand on your balls of the feet. So he could step on the back, he could sit on the back of Curry when he tiptoed, okay, tiptoed on his balls. He seemed to remain that high for nearly 2 years. So when Curry came, he was just 5 months old, and until 2 years he was of the same height. So the boy, the author, could easily sit on the back of the elephant. We grew together. That is probably why I never found out just how tall he was. So because they were growing together, the narrator was also a kid, so he did not realize that what was the actual height of the elephant, because he used to sit and he used to sit on the back of the elephant. That is okay. He lived in a pavilion under a thatched roof which rested on thick tree stumps so that it could not fall in when Curry bumped against the poles as he moved about. So a pavilion is a place, a temporary kind of shelter which is built up in a park or in a garden to provide shelter for someone, for some animals, or for someone who wants to stay in a temporary place for a temporary time being. So there we see that he lived under a thatched roof. The roof was thatched, means tiles were very beautifully placed, maybe with straws and with tiles the roof was done. So the cover, the head cover, the ceiling was made of thatched roof. Now this roof rested on stumps of a tree. Okay, what are stumps? Stumps are the projected, they are the bottom part of a tree part. The most you will see this when you cut a tree, you see there's a trunk, a huge trunk just left on the ground, right, just below, means just above the ground level. So that is called that is known as stumps. So there were thick tree stumps around the corners of the thatched roof, so that when Curry moved around the pavilion, he should not bump his head, bump himself into the poles, and the roof does not fall over him. One of the first things Curry did was to save the life of a boy. So now he is going to narrate all the incidents that happened when Curry was growing. So one of the first things what Curry did was to save our boy. Curry did not eat much, but he nevertheless needed 40 pounds of twigs a day to chew and play with. Now this was the total twigs he needed, okay, total weight, total amount of twigs that he needed to play and chew, okay, means this was all he needed, only 40 pounds of twigs, nothing more, okay. Every day I used to take him to the river in the morning for his bath, okay. So like elephants, we can't take elephants to the bathroom for them to take a bath. So the keeper, the narrator, was in habit of taking the elephant to the river to make him bath, okay. He used to lie down on the sandbank while I rubbed him with the clean sand of the river for an hour. So Curry had nothing to do, because obviously he was an animal, he had a keeper. So the boy, the narrator, took him to the riverside, and then Curry slept peacefully, means he just lied down peacefully on the sand, and then the narrator used to rub and scrub the body of the elephant with the clean sand from the banks of the river only. And it took him about an hour, means it was a tedious job, it was a very hard work to get Curry bath. After that, he would lie in the water for a long time. Okay, when the cleaning was done, when the rubbing of the sand was done, Curry would go to the river and he used to sit, means he used to keep standing on the river. He enjoyed the water, maybe the coldness, or maybe the temperature of the water soothed him. On coming out, his skin would be shining like ebony. So when he used to come out of the water, his skin used to shine very nicely, like ebony. Ebony is a plant, and usually that when it's polished, the hardwood of the ebony tree is polished, it gives a mirror finish. It becomes very smooth, it becomes very shining. So the body of, because ebony, means elephants are usually grey in color, dark grey in color. So ebony is also brown or black in color. So when he used to come out of the river, his body used to shine like ebony, and he would squeal with pleasure as I rubbed water down his back. So for cleaning the sand, for removing the sand from the body, the narrator used to clean or put water on the back of the elephant. So the elephant Curry used to squeal. What is squealing? Squealing is trumpet or crying. Trumpet, it's the cry of an elephant, the call of an elephant, trumpet. Then I would take him by the ear, because that is the easiest way to lead an elephant. So he used to hold his ear, not like forcefully, but just to give direction to the elephant. According to the narrator, that was the easiest way to lead an elephant and leave him on the edge of the jungle. So he held the ear of the elephant, and then he used to take the elephant to the edge of the jungle. Edge means to the end of the jungle. While I went into the forest to get some luscious twigs for his dinner. Luscious means very shining, very delicate and sweet. Okay. So he went to the forest to get twigs for Curry. One has to have a very sharp hatchet to cut down these twigs. So in order to cut the twigs for Curry, he had to carry a small hatchet. Hatchet is like a small axe, and it needed to be very sharp, because cutting those delicate twigs and without without harming those twigs was a difficult task. It needed precision, it needed perfection. Okay, it takes half an hour to sharpen the hatchet. So how long does it take for him to sharpen the hatchet? It's about half an hour. Hatchet, because if a twig is mutilated, an elephant will not touch it. What is mutilated? Destroyed or torn out. Okay, so there we see that we come to know one more thing about the elephant, that if the twigs are mutilated or destroyed or torn, they won't eat it and they won't even touch it. It was not an easy job to get twigs and saplings for curry. I had to climb all kind of trees to get the most delicate and tender twigs. So what is he saying? That it wasn't an easy task at all to get twigs for curry, because the twigs curry liked had to be very delicate and very like tiny, means it shouldn't be hard, it has to be tender. Tender means soft. Okay, so there we see that the narrator had a very hard time collecting twigs for the elephant for curry. He had to climb all kind of trees and search for and look for the best twigs possible. As he was very fond of the young branches of the banyan tree, which grows like a cathedral of leaves and branches. So Curry enjoyed having twigs from the banyan tree. Okay, so the young branches, that means the very fresh twigs that used to grow was the favorite of Curry. Okay, he used to enjoy eating those twigs only. So that these delicate or tender leaves, twigs, used to grow like a cathedral. Cathedral is a bunch or a group of leaves that grew on higher branches. Okay, you won't find it below or near the earth's surface, but above it, means it was on great height. I was gathering some one spring day in March. So he remembers gathering some of these twigs which Curry liked in one of the spring day in March, when I suddenly heard Curry calling to me in the distance. So he was collecting twigs, he was cutting down some tender twigs, and then he heard the call of Curry, means the call of the elephant. As he was still very young, the call was more like that of a baby than an elephant. Okay, it wasn't because he was very young, he was very small. So the call was just like a baby's call and not an elephant's call. I thought somebody was hurting him, because the sound was such that he thought that someone was hurting Curry. Now, so I came down from my tree and ran very fast to the edge of the forest where I had left him. But he was not there. Okay, he had left him at the edge. This was the regular thing he used to do. This was customary. He used to take him by the ear and leave him at the edge of the forest. Okay, and now he heard his call from the edge of the forest and he ran, but he could not find Curry there. I looked all over, but I could not find him. Okay, he looked everywhere possible. Obviously, he left him at the edge, and he looked everywhere around it, but he could not find it. I went near the edge of the water. Now, because he could not find it at the edge of the forest, he thought maybe Curry had decided to go to the water. So he went near the bank, and I saw a black something struggling above its surface. So when he reached near the bank, when he reached at the edge of the river, he found that in the water there was something black struggling in the water. Struggling is like trying to make great efforts and put a lot of efforts for doing something. Someone was there in the water, something was there in the water which was struggling, which was putting in a lot of effort, maybe to save himself or herself. Let's find out what happens. Then it rose higher and it was the trunk of my elephant. So what did he see? That it came above the surface of the water and it was the trunk of his elephant. That means Curry's trunk. I thought he was drowning. Okay, he thought that the elephant Curry was drowning. Drowning means what? Immersing in the water. I was helpless because I could not jump into the water and save the 400 pounds of him, since he was much higher than I. Because he had grown now and he was much higher in the water. He already weighed 40 pounds. 400 pounds, and now it was impossible for this little boy, for the narrator, to go and save a 400 pounds of elephant, right? So it would be foolish and stupid to do so. But I saw his back rise above the water. So that means he was standing in the water and he wasn't drowning. So the back of the elephant raised above the surface of the water. And the moment he caught my eye means he caught my look, I could see him properly. He began to trumpet and struggle up to the shore. Then when he saw that his master, the narrator, has come at the edge of the river, Curry started trumpeting. Okay, he started giving his cry. Okay. Then still trumpeting, he pushed me into the water, and as I fell into the stream, I saw a boy lying flat on the bottom of the river. So what happened here? That Curry came to the shore, he gave the trumpeting call, and then he threw his master into the water. When he fell into the water, he saw that there was a boy drowning in the water. At the bottom means at the bed of the river. He had not altogether touched bottom, but was somewhat afloat. Means he was afloating in it. He was afloat means an act of floating. He was floating on it. He wasn't touching the bottom of the river, bed of the river, but he was on the top, floating. I came to the surface of the water to take my breath, and there Curry was standing. So what happened? He came to the shore, he came out of the water, means he is just on the surface of the water now, and there Curry was standing at the shore, his feet planted in the sandbank. Curry was smart enough to dig his feet in the sand, okay? And his trunk stretched out like a hand waiting for mine. So Curry wanted to get the hold of his master, of his keeper. That's why he had dug his feet strongly, firmly into the sand, so that he could not be swept away in the water. And he was trying to stretch his trunk towards the boy, towards the keeper, so that he could give his hand and pull the boy back to the shore. I dived down again and pulled the body of the drowning boy to the surface. Now what happened? He dived means to get into the water. Okay, he got into the water, he dived in, and he tried pulling the body of the drowning boy to the surface. Now he wanted to bring the boy on top, right? Means above the water surface. But being a good swimmer, I could not swim ashore, and the slow current was already dragging me down. So he was not a very good swimmer, but he somehow managed to get himself into the water. He tried pulling the boy, he tried taking out the boy, but he wasn't successful. The slow current wasn't helping him either. The current was very slow. Usually when current are at speed, you can actually take the direction of the current and reach the shore. But here the current was also very slow, and it was trying to drag him down. Seeing us drift by in the current. Now drift by means to get away with the current. Curry, who was usually slow and ponderous, Curry obviously was an elephant, right? Ponderous means he was of great size and great weight. So he was very slow and very ponderous. Suddenly darted down like a hawk and came halfway into the water. So what happened when Curry saw that his keeper is being pulled away, means pulled down by the slow current, by the current, he got alert, he got alarmed, and then he darted. Darted means to move quickly into the water. He tried to move quickly into the water and he darted down like a hawk. Because the shore was on top and the water level was low, so he came like a hawk and he tried to get a grip of the master, okay, and came halfway into the water. He came into the water, where I saw him stretch out his trunk again. So the keeper saw the elephant again in water, and again the elephant, Curry, was stretching out his hand to save the keeper, to save his master. I raised up my hand to catch it and it slipped. Okay, because he was already wet, so his hand slipped when he tried to get the hold of the trunk. He could not hold it. His hands slipped off. I found myself going under the water again. So again, he caught the pull. He started drowning again. He felt that something was pulling him down. But this time I found that the water was not very deep, so I sank to the bottom of the river. This time the place where he was drowning, he was getting pulled down, was not very deep. It was shallow. The water was shallow there, and so he sank to the bottom of the river. He touched the bottom and doubled my feet under me. What is doubling your feet? To bend your body so that you can apply a thrust of force to move upwards. So he, in the water, he bended his body, he doubled up his feet, and then suddenly kicked the riverbed and so shot upwards like an arrow. So when he did that, when he bended his knees, when he bended his body, so then it was possible for him to kick the riverbed. He put a thrust, he put a force on the riverbed and forced himself up, and so shot upwards like an arrow. In spite of the fact that I was holding the drowning boy with my hand, means he could do this even after he was holding the hand of the drowning boy. So this was a great effort. This was a great achievement. As my body rose above the water, I felt a lasso around my neck. What is a lasso? A lasso is a rope with a noose at the end. Okay, so you can find a lasso. Noose means what? There will be a knot. Okay, there will be a knot somewhere, and somewhere means you can tighten or loosen it according to your need. So there was a lasso around the narrator's neck. This frightened me. Now he got scared. What is this? Who is trying to catch me this way? Okay, this frightened me. I thought some water animal was going to swallow me. So what did he think? That some water animal was going to kill him, was going to eat him whole, swallow him. I heard Curry squealing. Curry again began to give his cry. Okay, means his trumpet, his call. And I knew it was his trunk about my neck. So it wasn't a rope, but it was the trunk of the elephant. It was the trunk of Curry. He pulled us both ashore. So Curry saved the life of both the boy and his keeper. So we see here that the keeper has been pulled out from the water. Now we will see what happens next. The next incident is Curry becomes fond of ripe bananas. He believes in self-help, much to the discomfort of his friend. With quiet dignity, Curry accepts the chiding he knows he deserves. So in this incident, we will see that Curry becomes fond means he enjoys eating ripe bananas now, and he did not ask for it. He thought to get it himself. Self-help is the best help. We have heard this. So maybe the elephant had also heard it somewhere. So he tried to steal those bananas to do some self-help, because he loved eating ripe bananas. And then he got his master, his friend actually, in trouble. And we will see what was the trouble now. With quite dignity, Curry also, because when he was scolded, when he was chided that you did it, he accepted it, and then we will see what he decides. Curry was like a baby. He had to be trained to be good, and if you did not tell him when he was naughty, he was up to more mischief than ever. So what do we see here? That narrator feels, that the friend feels that Curry was like a baby. What do babies do? If you scold them, if you do not explain them that this is wrong, they will keep on doing it, right? They will keep on doing mischief if you don't explain how this is wrong. And if it doesn't convince them, they're never going to stop. So you have to train them, you have to teach them to be good, because they are new to this world, they don't know anything. So they need to be told what is good and what is not. So here also we see Curry was like a baby, because he had to be trained, and he should have to be told what to do and what to not, and what mischiefs to avoid. For instance, one day somebody gave him some bananas to eat. So what do we see? Someone gave him bananas to eat. Very soon he developed a great love for ripe bananas. Not the raw ones, but the ripe ones. I think I also love it. You must be loving them too. So Curry grew fond of ripe bananas. We used to keep large plates of fruit on a table near our window in the dining room. So in their house, in the narrator's house, they used to keep full plates of fruits, okay? Large plates of fruits on a table near the window. So in the dining room there was a window, they had a table near it, and the plates were kept on the table, okay? So these plates had fruit in them. One day all the bananas on that table disappeared, and my family blamed the servants for eating all the fruit in the house. So whenever some crisis happens in the house, the first people to be blamed are our servants, because we think they are not loyal, they are trying to cheat us. So here also the same thing happened. They thought, the parents of the keeper thought that the servants are eating all the fruits, okay? And a few days later the fruits disappeared. Now this had happened before also. It was continuously happening. And who were to be blamed? First the servants. Now see who was blamed. Now we will see who was blamed next. This time, a few days later, the fruit disappeared again. This time the blame was put on me. So who was blamed now? That the keeper had taken the fruits and eaten those. It made me very angry with my parents and the servants, for I was sure they had taken all the fruit. Now he was angry, very angry, because he knew that I did not take it and they are blaming it on me. So he was very angry with his parents and the servants, because he thought that they had taken the fruits and now they are blaming it on the narrator. Okay? The next time the fruit disappeared, I found a banana all smashed up in Curry's pavilion. Now again the fruits were missing, they again disappeared. Then one fine day, the narrator found smashed up banana. Smashed means what? Completely destroyed and torn into many pieces, Okay, these bananas were found in Curry's shelter, Curry's pavilion. This surprised me very much because Curry had never done this before. He never took anything without being told to take. Okay, so this surprised him very much, for I had never seen fruit there, and as you know, he had always lived on twigs. So we know that he enjoyed eating twigs, fresh and delicate twigs. He never enjoyed fruits much. So finding fruits near, means in the pavilion, this was very surprising for the narrator. So children, for this lesson, for today's lesson, let us keep till here only. I hope you are enjoying the lesson till now. We are